Hi everyone, my name is Kris. My channel is Start Small, and in fact today we're going to do some minis. I've got a couple of things that I'm working on that I want to finish. I have a show in May, so that's kind of behind me, that I have to work every day, get some things done. But first I wanted to talk about this ride on YouTube. If you're just starting a channel, you're new like I am to YouTube, maybe you've experienced the same thing. I did read on Reddit this morning a poster that said that he got 177,000 views on his first channel. So good for him. That was not my experience. I had much more moderate viewership. But the responses to his post were very interesting. And all of them had to do with people who had gotten a lot of views on their first posting, and then the second week they were quite encouraged and thought they were doing the right thing, and they got 10 views. So most were responding to this person that posted, "Get back to me next week when you have 5 views." So I think what's underneath all of this is we don't really understand the algorithm. When you have a moderate success on the first one, you expect to at least get that, or I did, and maybe get a few more viewers the next time. But that didn't happen. I got about 20 views on the first post that I did, and I got 3 on the second one. So it leads you to think about a few things. One is the sort of roller coaster that you don't understand, that you're now in a car riding, and that there's a lot of behind the scenes things that are going on that we understand. I mean, YouTube is a business. It's there to make money. If people aren't watching your YouTubes, they're not going to put you at the head of the line. That makes sense. So, and the second thing is why you do it to begin with. And if you do it for viewership and money and fame, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, it certainly wasn't the reason I did it, and I feel fortunate about that, because otherwise I'd be very disappointed about now. But the reason that I did it is I thought it would cause me to focus more on art and why I do what I do. And by explaining it to other people, there would be things about it that I think, oh, that's why I do that, which would be important to me. So I still have that, and I'll still continue to make content. But in the misery loves company, and misery is not the right word, I know. If you're experiencing the same kind of thing that I am with YouTube, let's support each other and feel good about what we're doing, and maybe meet a couple of people along the way that you enjoy talking with, and about the process of how you work. So we'll have that. So today I'm going to switch the camera around so that people can see the work on these. I have explained why I do minis, and why I also do multiples of something, like these teapots. And that is because when I'm thinking about a piece, when I'm starting a piece, I always have a story in my head, and then I break it into little bits. So if I, for example, let me just grab this piece for a minute. This one I knew was going to have a teapot in it. It was going to have a cat in it. I usually have birds and flowers in my paintings, so this is kind of a standard thing for me. I did do several cats. This was kind of the oddest looking one, and I knew I wanted that for this in the shape of the teapot. So anyway, I broke this down into components, and then I work on those components. And when I find one that I like, in the case of this grouping here, it was this teapot in the center, and it got morphed a little bit, but that's how I think about it. And this And sometimes I make little minis because then I have a nice little painting that came out of working through the ideas and the colors, palettes, things like that, of what I'm going to put in the larger piece. So I hope that that will be helpful to some of you, and let's get started with that. I'm beginning with yellow in this piece because I wanted to keep within that same range of colors. And this is having more sort of yellows and oranges and reds. I like working in a more limited palette, even though the background is blue. I think the blue gives a little bit of relief too. I was going to use Naples yellow on this scarf, but I think I'm going to change it up and do a kind of color that's based on red. Maybe a pink with red polka dots. I love polka dots too. If you looked in my closet, that would be obvious. So let me, and some white. And maybe I'll repaint the red that's in this painting to match it. I have to see. That's the nice thing too about doing these, that you know they're just studies. If it works out into a painting, that's fine, but it doesn't have to. I used to, years ago, stress about every painting. How's this going to go? But I don't do that anymore. There's always another canvas, and I can always paint over this one, and that's okay. And one of the things that they teach you in art school, or at least they did where I went, is don't be precious about your work, because you'll lose the play of it. You lose the fun of making art. It should always, I think, first be fun. I do want to put some more flowers in around these leaves here. And maybe a little bit more work on the eyes and some cloud patterns in the blue. So that's all to be done yet.